Good morning, Metro Detroit. This is Gary Leon Jackson, your urban conservative. Yeah, thanks for cutting that music off because just so you know, Vaughn, in my end, it sounds horrible. It sounds really, really, really choppy. My voice sounds good to me, good and clear to me now. Good morning, those of y'all that can hear me. If you're listening to me over the air and you've also got one of the apps up in front of you, text me, let me know if this sounds perfectly fine to you. Um, because I mean, now my voice sounds smooth and clear, and I want to make sure that those folks who are listening over the air can hear. Okay, Vaughn says it sounds good on his end. So we're gonna rock and roll. Good morning, everybody. It's Kerry Leon Jackson, the urban conservative. Listening to 910 a.m. Superstation, Metro Detroit's only urban talk radio station. The number here in the studio is 313-778-7600. 313-778-7600. It's 6:02. If you've got to be there by 7 o'clock, you've got 58 minutes to get there. So, something I want to talk about now. Let me just tell y'all, let me give you a couple of housewarming sort of things about how we're going to proceed today and this week. Y'all know the next weekend is Memorial Day. Memorial Day, so that everybody can go out and spend time with their family. Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. It's the unofficial or official, whatever it is. The unofficial start of summer is next weekend. So you will have pre-recorded shows on Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. So you will hear me live today, right now, my show from 6 to 7 in the morning. And then I will be in the studio. For those of you that are used to us having Mental Health Monday, we're still going to have Mental Health Monday, just not right now. We're going to have it a little later in the morning from 9 to 11. Sherry is going to join me in the studio physically at the 9:10 a.m. studios this morning. And we'll do Mental Health Monday from 9 to 11 later on today. This morning I want to talk about a case that came up over the weekend. And yeah, I held it in all weekend. Didn't really have an opportunity to vent about it. You will remember the story of there was a robbery not a robbery. There was a disturbance. It was a young man who was inside of a gas station over on, I believe it's 6 Mile in the Lodge. He's inside of a gas station, was not happy about something. Apparently, he was trying to buy something for $3-4. His debit card didn't work. He got into a dispute with the clerk, a 22-year-old clerk who was behind y'all know it's bulletproof glass when it's in our neighborhood. The clerk was behind the glass. The young man gets irate, starts arguing with the clerk. Clerk then does what the clerk is told to do. Now, what's important for this discussion, I want y'all to remember, the 22-year-old clerk doesn't own the store. 22-year-old clerk is not the person that sets the policy and procedures of how that particular business is going to operate. This is one of those times when y'all know how Fidel wants me to understand that, since I've gotten older, times have changed and people look and do things differently now than they did when I was in my 20s. 22-year-old clerk is working in the store. 22-year-old clerk does what a 22-year-old clerk is told to do when he's working at either a store, a party store, a gas station in our community. He hit this little button when they call the cops. Hits the little button, locks the door when the person is inside or person or people are inside your business and they're being irate. The young man who was the person being irate pulls out a gun. There are several other totally innocent civilians inside the business with the young man. At some point between the time, at some point later, that same incident, apparently the clerk later on unlocked the door. But while the young man who had the gun, who is the troublemaker, who is the real cause of the problem, come on now, apparently the argument was over $3-4. Your card is not working over $3 or $4 or whatever it is, you leave. You leave the items there. You go borrow the money. You go call the bank about the card. You do something other than you pull out a gun and decide I'm getting ready to shoot somebody because I'm that angry. Now, we've talked about enough on this show the fact that there are a lot of folks walking around in our community that just have this chip on their shoulder. They are big time angry. Whatever they're angry about, something's got them to that point where they're just walking, ticking time bombs waiting to explode. The people who were inside the store that day had no idea that just going into a store with some walking, ticking time bomb was going to lead to all of the violence and basically alter their lives forever. One of the people gets shot, is dead. The young man who shot them is not the store clerk. I need to make sure that we emphasize that over and over again. The person who caused the commotion out in the lobby is not the store clerk. The person that caused the commotion out in the lobby happened to have had a gun. Got angry with the store clerk, also got angry because he was locked in, probably felt trapped or whatever it is, starts shooting, shoots an innocent person inside the store. Eventually winds up getting out of the store, going on his merry way. And after he gets out of the store and goes on his merry way, the police arrive. Because, that's what happens. The police don't arrive when the problem is going on. The police arrive a short period of time later. Assess the situation, call ambulances for those that are inside, discover that somebody's inside that's dead. They then decide to go look for the person who actually caused the shooting. While the police are there and they're investigating, they discover that the business that's operating does not, at that particular moment, have a current business operation license in the city of Detroit. They decide we're going to shut the place down. It's already a crime scene. They could have shut it down anyway, but they decided that even after they leave, they want their business to shut down until they go and comply with all of the rules and regulations of the city of Detroit and get all the proper licenses before they open back up again. The store obviously had some sort of video system that was already set up because on all of the footage, everything that we've seen shows the scene of the what happened inside of the store. So there was clearly surveillance footage. The police did what police do. They went looking for the bad guy, and they eventually captured, and they've told everybody the bad guy's name. The bad guy has been charged. But after the bad guy was charged, on the day of the funeral for the young innocent person who was inside, who was killed by the bad guy, City of Detroit Police and the Wayne County Prosecutor's Office decided to charge the 22-year-old store clerk with manslaughter. Not because of some incident that happened somewhere else some other day, something that 22-year-old probably actually caused or did. They charged the 22-year-old store clerk with manslaughter because he had, during the frantic stuff there, he did what he was told to do as an employee of the store, push the button and lock the door. Importantly, and I'm glad that they finally, that they actually released the fact that at some point that clerk did figure out, oh my God, this guy's crazy, let me unlock the door. And he unlocked the door. The fact that he unlocked the door didn't stop the guy from being crazy. The guy was still crazy, still shot, still killed somebody, still deserves to spend the rest of his life in prison, not out walking around on the street because he gets upset over $3 or $4 and decides I'm going to kill anybody that's in my way. That's the bad guy. I fully understand who the bad guy is. The stretch of my imagination is saying we're also going to charge the clerk. The clerk is not the one who's operating the business. The clerk is not the one who is not complying with the regulations of the city of Detroit. Clerk is 22 years old. And the one thing I challenge any of you to tell me, I just want you to think about any 22-year-old kid that you know right now. Tell me if you believe that a 22-year-old has the ability to foresee all of the consequences of their actions. As a 22-year-old who's working inside of a store where he's got rules and regulations that he has to follow from the store owner, do you think that the 22-year-old is the one who should be put in a position of being punished because there's a regulation that says when somebody's in the store and they're acting wild and belligerent, hit this button and lock the door? Should there even be a button to allow you to lock people and trap people inside of the store? Yeah, if you ask me, my vote is no. But that's location is not the only one in town that has one of those little locks, the little where you hit the button and lock the door. They're all over the place. People have installed them because they feel the need for safety. Clearly, the best case scenario for why they need those sort of things is that there are fools out there walking around who get upset when their debit card is is declined, and they'll rather pull out a gun and start killing people. That's a perfect case for why businesses inside the community need some sort of protection. They need some sort of system. If that because the police are not going to be at every location. The police show up after the shooting's over. The police show up when somebody's already dead. Should businesses have some sort of way to protect themselves and the people inside those businesses from mad, crazy people? Probably. Is this the right system? I'll leave that up to the folks downtown who are currently debating on whether or not a business should be allowed to have a buzzer to lock the door when things go wrong. Should a 22-year-old clerk who works behind a counter, behind bulletproof glass, should a 22-year-old store clerk be the one that we take out all of our frustrations about what's wrong in America and in our community? Should a 22-year-old clerk be the one who's blamed for the policies and procedures for what happened in that store? The 22-year-old clerk never pulled a gun. As far as we know, didn't kill anybody. Why is a 22-year-old clerk the one who's being charged with manslaughter? Tell me what you think. 313-778-7600. 313-778-7600. Tim is the first one through the door. As usual, let's talk to Tim. Good morning, Tim. How are you?
Doing fine, thank you. Yeah, I don't know, man. I just think that 22, his brain doesn't fully develop till he's 25. So unless you go over training scenarios for when to do that, but to close that door with people in that store is for $4. We lose a line for $4. What the hell is the world coming to? This is absolutely nuts. We got to stop it. I mean, we got to stop it, people. This is absolutely crazy. Gary, I think this world, this country's falling apart, man.
I agree, but hold on a minute, Tim. Do me a favor, because it sounds horrible on my end. So what we're going to do, so Vaughn, this is what I want to do. I want to go to break a half a minute early. I'm going to shut my Comrex down and reboot it because I can't, I don't want all of the listeners to wind up hearing this sound of, sounds like you're talking through a fan. All right. We're going to take a very quick break. We'll be right back. Good morning, all of y'all. 313-778-7600 if y'all want to call in. If you've got something you want to say, if you want to share it, get on the phone. And yeah, I'm stalling. You mean no commercial? Should be a commercial plan. You're not going to hear the commercial because I shut the Comrex down because I'm waiting to reboot it. That's the testing. So that the test is coming over very clear. So now let's go to the station.
Tax Solutions now. Had my wage garnishment lifted in 48 hours. The virus has caused the IRS to take extensive action to help taxpayers. So if you owe $10,000 or more, this is the best time in years to settle your tax debt. I qualified for the Fresh Start program. I paid less than I owed. Remember, the IRS will not give up until you pay. Call 800-683-9499. 800-683-9499. 800-683-9499. My 38 is offering a great special that cannot be refused. Are you looking for a great deal on TV advertising? Are you searching for an avenue to get your business name out to the public? With My 38, we are offering a great special with 100 commercial ads for a great.
Let's try switching to the other line.
Be seen on Apple TV, Roku, Chromecast, YouTube Red, iPhone, iPad, Android phone, Android tablet, Amazon Kindle Fire, any Windows phone. Watch us live at 910amsuperstation.com.
Welcome back, Metro Detroit. This is Kerry Leon Jackson, your urban conservative. Things sound much better now. So this way, when you wind up hearing the callers, they won't sound like they are, they don't sound we used to get when we used to talk through the fan just to hear our voice being chopped up. You won't have that sound. 313-778-7600. You just tuned in. We're talking about the case where the Wayne County Prosecutor's Office and the Detroit Police decided to charge a 22-year-old store clerk with manslaughter. And the 22-year-old store clerk didn't shoot anybody, didn't ask anybody, didn't be shot, didn't take part in the crime. It just happened to have been a person who was working a shift in a store when some mad, crazed fool walked in, so mad that he decided, my debit card has been denied on $4. Maybe I need to kill somebody. 313-778-7600. Let's go back to the phones. Let's talk to Fidel. Good morning, Fidel. How are you?
Hey, good morning, Kerry.
What's on your mind?
Hey, man, what's on my mind is ignorance to the law is no excuse. Whether he presumed to know, didn't know, was told something different what to do, that's his fault. Look all around the world. You go somewhere else and you presume not to know the law. They don't care about that. You broke the law. You have to pay for it. Look at Brittany.
Hold on a minute. What did the store clerk do that you think caused the death of the person who got shot?
When somebody tell you, if you don't open this door, I'm gonna do X, Y, Z, and you're protected, you play a role in that.
So your problem is the fact that the store clerk was behind the glass. So being behind the glass means he should be charged with manslaughter. That's your point? You say he's protected because the store clerk didn't pull the trigger. The store clerk actually did wind up unlocking the door. Tell me what you believe. Was it the initial locking of the door, doing what he was told to do? Tell me in your mind, since you think that kid deserves to be charged, tell me what you think he did wrong.
Listen, we're not talking about some school kids stealing a couple bags of chips and you lock them in. I'm going to say this again. The guy clearly says, if you don't open the door, I'm going to kill these people. Now, if you feel like there's no law, I got you. Cool. But what about morally? See, this is what people hate Fidel about. If Fidel was in that situation, the clerk up under those situations, I'd have lost my job. There's no way somebody would have told me that. And I see in the city of Detroit, had 3 or 4 other black people shot, possibly killed. I'd have opened that door. The owners would have came in.
Fidel, he opened the door.
I'd have told them the same thing.
Fidel, he opened the door. He opened the door.
After he started shooting. After. See?
So here's your thing is he should be charged with manslaughter. He should be, I understand that there are times you want to hold people responsible for their actions. And I had this discussion last night with another friend of mine, like the case with the parents of the kid out at the Oxford school. They bought him the gun. You know that they bought him they put the gun in the hand of the crazy kid and left him in school. They didn't warn anybody that we've given our kid a gun. Those parents deserve to be held liable for their actions. Store clerk didn't buy anybody a gun. He didn't give them the gun. He didn't say, go ahead and shoot him. I don't care. What did the store clerk do by being behind the counter that you think in your mind? And I mean, I'm gonna move on to some of these other callers. The rest of y'all, don't worry, I'm gonna get to y'all. I'm at a loss for what other than getting up, going to work that day, did the store clerk do that you believe he should be held liable?
Here, you could take a barber shop, you could take a auto mechanic shop, you could take any shop. When somebody threatens you and they lock the door, when the door was unlocked, they liable. They liable. You can't lock me in with a crate. You're supposed to get me
So
out.
you don't think that the owner that installed the lock is the person that should be charged with manslaughter? You think that the clerk who's at work, the 22-year-old,
the clerk should be criminally charged. The clerk should be criminally charged. The owner should be civilly charged.
And in your mind, the difference is why? Tell me what you think the difference is between the owner and the clerk.
I got what you're saying. The owner told the clerk to do it.
So you think that the owner told the clerk to do it. Clearly, you believe that the owner should wind up being on the hook for money, but he shouldn't be on the hook for the crime. That's what you're telling me.
Because, again, you got to make your own decision once you pass 18, and ignorance to the law is no excuse.
16-year-olds have to make their own decisions about stuff, too. I'm just trying to figure out where you are hanging the... Listen, y'all, understand this. This is why y'all have jury duty. This is why when jurors have to wind up talking to other people when they inside, because everybody is not presumed to think alike. And I'm trying to get out of Fidel what he thinks the kid did.
That's right. You got to break it all the way. And real quick, kid, just for the record, I don't know what Tim talking about. This world is falling apart. It's always been falling apart, and they doing nothing, getting worse and worse. It's too far gone. There's no point of return. We see this stuff you've seen this type of stuff ever since you put one foot in Detroit. It has been nothing but getting worse and worse.
Brother, you know where I was before I got to Detroit. Let me knock out some more of these other callers. Thanks for calling. 313-778-7600. Let's talk to Sharon. Good morning.
Good morning, Kerry. How are you today?
Pretty good. What's on your mind?
Listen, a lot of times when the system wants to mitigate circumstances for certain people, they'll state it in the newspaper in order to do that. Now, you say the clerk just operated the way the owner told him. Some of you know that. That's hearsay. They're saying the guy unlocked the door at some point. We don't know that. That's what his lawyer's saying. But those people inside banged on the door, begged to get out, begged to pay for the $3 items, and the clerk said no. Those are important aspects that you left out of the story.
I'm glad you called to tell us all of these important aspects that you say I left out of the story. Even adding the important aspects that you've decided to add that I would have left out the story. Tell me what the clerk did that the clerk should be held liable for the death of the person.
Holding people against their will that allowed them to be killed. If that was your
allowed them to be killed? Allowed them to be killed? If that was my family, let me tell you this. Hold on, you decided to throw that in. If it was my family, I'd find a way to wind up posting the bond for the fool that's in jail for doing the shooting. And when he's out, you never ever hear from him ever again. I protect mine, but understand this. You deciding to blame other people for causing the death. I'd blame the person that caused the death, the one that pulled the trigger. I might even blame that boy's mama for raising him wrong and for releasing him out on the community. I'd blame a whole bunch of people. But the store clerk, who's at work, who just did what he was told to do. But he told to do. Okay, if he didn't, even if he didn't do what he was told to do, if he got up that day and said, "I'm gonna lock a bunch of Negroes in my store today," all right, how did that cause the death. Now, do you charge them with, hey, understand this, y'all, just so y'all clear, holding anybody against their will any length of time, whether it's even a half a minute or not, that's kidnapping. So can you charge them with kidnapping? Go ahead, charge them with kidnapping. Charging them with the murder? Charging them with the death? You didn't cause the death.
Because people die because of what you done. Now, let them charge them, and then let the system do what they do, which is when they want to mitigate it for certain people, they will expunge his record, drop it after so long, let him do community service. That's the aspect that they can deal with. But he was responsible for those people's death, because had he not locked them in there, they may not have been killed.
Had that gas station not been open, he wouldn't have been killed. Had the fool with the gun not walked in there, they wouldn't have been killed. Had they gone to a different store that day, they wouldn't have been killed. You reaching. Thanks for calling this morning. 313-778-7600. Let's go to Leona. Good morning, Leona. How are you?
Good morning. I'm fine. How are you? The club should be charged. The owners should be charged. The person that didn't issue the thing for the gas station to be open, all of them should be charged. I believe by locking those people in the gas station, he caused the people, that young man, to be murdered. He was 22 years old. It reminds me when Abraham, remember, he was 11 years old. He accidentally killed someone.
He didn't accidentally kill nobody. He was sitting on the roof and he shot somebody. That wasn't accidentally. He shot somebody.
They sent him to prison for 20-something years.
They sent him to prison until he turned 18, and he kept messing up, so he kept violating it. He had to go back to prison over and over again.
That's all right. He had a mind of a child. He was not 22.
I agree with you on that.
All of them should be charged.
Think everybody should be charged, y'all. See, let me just say this. Let me say this, y'all. Understand this. Folks kick, holler, and scream and say, we need black jurors. We need black jurors. I've said this over and over again. Having tried hundreds of cases, black jurors will convict you quicker than the white folks will. This is why. Y'all understand. You are listening to the voices of the folks in the community who are going to be answering jury duty. And they are very, very tough on other members of the community because they don't want this crap going on where they live at. All right. Thank you, Ms. Leona. Have a great morning. 313-778-7600, 313-778-7600. We got to take the second break of the morning, and it's a very quick break. It's only 3 minutes. None of y'all, I see how many of y'all are on the line. I'll go try and cut folks off so we can get you all in. We're going to take a very quick break. We'll be right back.
Have you thought about advertising your business on our 9 10 a.m. Superstation? Our audience is bigger than ever, and your investment will be lower than ever. Find out how you can grow your business. Give us a call during business hours and ask for Henry, 248-357-4566. We will tell your story, and more folks than ever before will come to your door. 248-357-4566. Ask for Henry. The super audience at our 910 Superstation wants to hear about you. Call now. The all-new 910
Curtis, what side am I on? I don't need the side. I'm on the side of. I need y'all to call in and say what you want to say.
Further, you can now listen in on a multitude of audio platforms. We're on Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio, Buzzsprout, Google Podcasts, Spotify, Listen Notes, and coming soon to Amazon Music, Goodpods, and Overcast. 9 10 a.m. Superstation, the largest, strongest, 50,000-watt urban radio station in town. 9 10 a.m. Superstation has the greatest advertising deal ever with our Godfather package. 100 spots for $600, but they must air within 30-day policy, and we will even produce the spots free. That's right, free. Call Devin C. now at 248-357-4566. That's 248-357-4566. Or email at d.calhoun@thewordnetwork.org. This excludes political ads. WADL gets a facelift and is now My 38 Detroit. Along with a facelift comes new programming. On Mondays at 8 p.m., catch a 2-hour block of Law and Order SVU. Tuesdays, Chicago Fire. Wednesdays, Dateline. More Dateline and Chicago PD on Thursdays and on Fridays. You'll get more Chicago PD to start your weekend. We'll still have some of your favorite shows like Mom, Blackish, and Friends. Just adding more for you to enjoy on My 38. The Word Network has been broadcasting inspirational messages around the world since the year 2000, and we keep getting bigger and better and more innovative. Seen all around the world, we bring you the best teaching, impartation, singing, and inspiration. If you want original programming, we have that too. The Word Network is your exclusive source for all things inspiration, and we can be found on every device imaginable. If you want to be uplifted and inspired, you need the Word Network. My 38 is offering a great special that cannot be refused. Are you looking for a great deal on TV advertising? Are you searching for an avenue to get your business name out to the public? With My 38, we are offering a great special with 100 commercial ads for a great price. This offer is for a 30-day ad placement. Please contact Devin C. for more information at 248-357-4566 or email at d.calhoun@thewordnetwork.org. This excludes political ads.
Welcome back, Metro Detroit. This is Kerry Leon Jackson, your urban conservative. You're listening to 910 AM Superstation, Metro Detroit's only urban talk radio station. The number here in the studio is 313-778-7600, 313-778-7600. Let's get something straight right now. Like Curtis put in the feed and said, Kerry, you wrong. You on the wrong side. I ain't on nobody's side. I picked a topic. This is what I do on a regular basis. I try and figure out what y'all are going to talk about in the morning and try and figure out what can we talk about that's going to make them phones ring. And judging by all of the fact that most of the lines are lit up right now, y'all got a lot to say about this one. 313-778-7600. Let's go back to the phones. Let's talk to Daniel. Good morning, Daniel.
Good morning, Mr. Jackson. How are you this morning?
Pretty good. What's on your mind?
I just wanted to agree with the callers who said that the guy at the gas station should be charged. He should absolutely be charged. And the guy that did the actual shooting, of course, he should be charged. But I feel like if the guy had not locked those gentlemen inside that gas station, then possibly all three of them could have made it out alive. Just like they got a picture of the gentleman doing the shooting, all the guy in the gas station had to do was just let the guys go. It was a small amount of money, what, $3 and some change or so. And he could have called the police and made a police report. And those people wouldn't have got shot, and one gentleman wouldn't be dead, man.
All right. Thanks for calling, Daddy. Have a great morning.
Yes, sir.
313-778-7600. Let's talk to Percy. Good morning, Percy.
Hey, Brother Care.
What's going on this morning?
Hey, yeah, another good talk. I tell you, I think it's nothing more complicated than what it really is. And the gentleman kind of just spoke before me, kind of nailed it in my book. If you were the two gentlemen in there at that time, ask yourself this question. When that man said, if you don't unlock the door, I'm going to shoot you guys, would you want the man to unlock the door? And then
I would not have wanted to have been locked in the gas station in the first place. I would have gone over and kicked the doggone lock and gotten out of the doggone thing. I didn't want to be in there with the crazed fool. There's a whole bunch of all of the what would happen. Again, the fool with the gun, I personally, I don't need y'all to know this, but I'd have shot him. But understand this, there's a lot of other ifs. The question is, the kid that's working, the 22-year-old, and I'm finna turn 60, so yeah, I still call the 22-year-old a kid. The kid that's working behind the counter. What mental gymnastics are you going through in order to say he's liable for the death? Now, is he liable for pushing the button that locked the people in the store? Yeah. But other than that, tell me how he could have foreseen that the actions of his behavior, that what probably would have came from his behavior, is that this psycho fool outside was going to wind up shooting a customer. How could he have foresaw that? Tell me that.
Yeah.
Yep.
If you feel that was his mother, his father, one of his loved ones that were in there, and that man said, if you don't unlock the door, I'm going to shoot your family, he would immediately unlock the door. He made a bad decision. And he caused the person life. And his other father. And isn't it also true that they didn't have a permit for that gas station to be open?
Yeah, they closed it down. They put a stick on the front door.
Wait a minute. It wasn't even supposed to be open, right?
It wasn't supposed to be open.
Okay, so the owner is liable too.
I agree that the owner, brother, that's not the question. I agree that the owner should be liable. I even think that the owner should have been the one to be charged with the manslaughter and not the kid. I agree with all of the owner's butt should be in the sling. We're not going to disagree on that. The question is, do you charge, is the kid being used as a scapegoat? It's a popular thing. Let's just go and hang somebody. Let's make it this 22-year-old kid who's in there doing what he was told to do.
He's got to do some time.
All right.
Ooh, do some time.
Boy, I'm telling y'all need to know this next time. Listen, I hope that everybody that's calling in goes to jury duty. I really, really do. I need y'all to not be ignoring those jury summons. I need y'all to make sure that y'all go share those opinions in the courtroom.
Bottom line, if that was him in that store, you think he would have wanted the man behind the counter to immediately unlock the door so he wouldn't get shot?
I wouldn't want the man behind the counter that unlocked it in the first place. There's a reason that our former police chief said, don't stop for gas in the city of Detroit. Why I pay a higher price for gas in the burbs than I do in the city. There's a whole bunch of other things. The question is, how are you holding the kid responsible? Let me knock out some more of these other callers, brother. I love you. Thanks for calling. 313-778-7600. Let's talk to Ann.
Yeah.
Good morning,
Yeah,
Ann.
Jerry.
How are you?
Oh, good. I was just thinking, I think I heard this yesterday where that business is also a green light business as well, where, you call the police or they come to you automatically, whatever. But I was just thinking of a scenario, because I don't want to give my opinion on the other stuff, because there's, I probably agree with quite a few of those people.
That's what you call talk radio for, to give your opinion.
I want you to just figure this one out. What if the guy had already taken, maybe shot the people? Okay, he shot the guy, and he's dead. And so the police show up, and so they start shooting and end up killing more people, or accidentally. Now, aren't they leaving themselves out, their butts out the window for a lawsuit, trying to defend a business that's illegal to begin with, shouldn't even be open?
Probably.
And shouldn't something come down on them for even not checking their records thoroughly enough and aligning themselves with that business with a green light? I mean, don't you think that's kind of like...
I think that the city should have more inspectors. I think that the city should pay more attention to which businesses are licensed and which ones aren't. I think that they should also err on the side of opening as many businesses as you can, because the residents in the city of Detroit deserve shopping options.
Oh,
I agree with all of
that. I agree with you totally. But I think that, law enforcement coming in to defend a business, and this may not be the first one, that they may possibly come across. You start shooting, people get killed, and that could open up the city of Detroit for a major lawsuit. I think they need to check what they're doing first. And I don't know exactly how they would get accurate information, but somehow they got inaccurate.
They have people driving up and down all of the streets of the city of Detroit every day. It's their job to check and make sure that the businesses that are within their school, get out your car, go inside, make sure everybody's got the licenses that they're supposed to, make sure that folks are not operating illegal establishments. That's what they're supposed to do.
To check these businesses to see if they are legit.
The assessors do that. They go by and they write down, and then they send you later on the bill. I know that the assessors in the city of Detroit do that very well.
Ask you this. How long has that business been open?
I have no idea.
'Cause I'm sure it's been a while.
I have no idea how long it's been open. Let me knock out some more of these callers. Thanks for calling this morning. Have a great day. 313-778-7600. Let's talk to David. Good morning, David.
Hey, good morning, brother. Thanks for taking the call. I'm going to be real quick, man. I am just so heartbroken for the family, man. Can you imagine what they're thinking? That their loved one was shot and killed when this gentleman told him, if you do not open the damn door, I am going to shoot everybody in here. I hope their loved ones get a lawyer. I hope they sue the hell out the city who was supposed to be in charge for letting this gas station stay open. I'm just coming from the aspect of, what if that was my brother or my uncle or my son? The family must be heartbroken when they hear, if you do not open this door, and he was probably using all kind of extras, I am going to shoot everybody in here. And he started shooting and killed a human being. This man is dead. His family is devastated. I can understand, man. You know, it has to be a hurtful thing to this family, man. All he had to do was open the damn door. I don't know why people trying to make this thing so difficult. So he's 22 years old. He got a man. He know what he was doing. I would have had opened the door, man. I don't know how I feel about him being charged or not, but I'm thinking about the family. The family must be devastated, man. Their loved one was killed.
I can imagine that the family of everybody who's killed wrongfully in this city, yeah, and I said wrongfully because, you know, sometimes people might have deserved to be killed. But I think that every family of somebody who's been wrongfully just in the wrong place at the wrong time, who wound up being killed, I clearly feel for their family, and I send our love and prayers to them. It's not the question. Is do you? But for every killing that has occurred, do you decide I'm going to charge everybody who remotely might have possibly had anything to do with it, or do you charge the killer? Period. Do you charge the person that's the one with the gun who does the killing, or do you say, not only am I going to charge the killer, I'm going to charge everybody else?
You know what, man? Like, I'm gonna be real quick, man. I think the young man needs to be charged, and whoever owns the gas station needs to be charged, or whoever takes care of these things for the city. Everybody needs to be charged and sued. All I know is the gentleman lost his life, and he didn't have to.
He didn't have
Thanks
to.
for taking the call, brother.
All right, I agree with you. 313-778-7600. 313-778-7600. It's 6:44. We've got to take the last break of the morning, and it's only a very quick break. It's only 3 minutes. We'll be right back.
Did you know most vitamin supplements don't even come from food? Even the products with colorful fruits and vegetables adorning the labels are seldom derived from produce. Typically, supplements are synthetic, made in a laboratory. Modern science may synthetically imitate these chemicals, but your body isn't fooled. It knows the difference, and it craves quality materials to build, repair, and fight illness. You need to consume fruits and vegetables daily in a variety of colors, as well as whole grains and other fresh food. That's why I formulated Balance of Nature. I wanted to be able to give my patients a natural alternative to the cheap, unnatural chemistry by giving them real fruits and vegetables. In fact, the only ingredients inside of Balance of Nature are whole fruits and vegetables. Don't settle for imitation nutrition. Reach for the good stuff, the real stuff.
Call 1-800-246-8751 or go to balanceofnature.com to get 35% off your first preferred order by using discount code RADIO5.
Do you have an idea for an invention or new product? Do you think companies would be interested in your idea? Do you want to try to get a patent? Then call InventHelp now. InventHelp keeps your idea confidential and explains every step of the invention process. We create professional materials representing your idea and submit it to companies who are looking for new ideas. We have more than 9,000 companies who've agreed to review ideas in confidence. If a company shows interest in manufacturing your invention, we can negotiate on your behalf. We have helped over 10,000 clients receive patents. We also offer services including 3D modeling and animation demonstrating your idea, prototyping services, and we use state-of-the-art technology to show InventHelp client ideas to additional companies. Join the thousands of people just like you who chose InventHelp to pursue their idea. We are experienced. We are working for you. We are InventHelp.
Call us for free information at 1-800-460-1663. That's 1-800-460-1663. Again, 1-800-460-1663.
Balance of Nature's fruits and vegetables in a capsule, changing the world one life at a time.
I had no energy for months and months and months. I had no energy, and I'm a very active person. And my husband was noticing that I was tired all the time, and I was slow at everything that I was doing. And I kept listening to the commercials, and you don't know if something's going to help you or not. But I decided this was something I was going to do. And lo and behold, in about 4 days after taking them, I was repotting plants. I was doing other things. My husband said to me, "You seem to have more energy." And I said, "Oh, yeah, I'm fine." And I'm telling you, nothing has ever made such a difference. So anyway, I'm very happy.
Right now, Balance of Nature is offering free shipping and 35% off on any new preferred order. Call 1-800-2468-751 or go to balanceofnature.com and use discount code RADIO5.
Welcome back, Metro Detroit. This is Kerry Leon Jackson, your urban conservative. I sure hope y'all ring these phones off the hook like this when I get to the studio from 9 to 11, or when I'm here Wednesday or Thursday later on this week. I really want y'all to ring the phones like that. I'm impressed with y'all today. If we don't say nothing else, thank y'all for deciding that y'all really, really wanted to communicate today. Let's go to Joan. Good morning, Joan. How are you?
Hi, I came in kind of late. Could you say that question one more time?
Do you think the clerk who locked the door during the point when there was a mad customer inside the store that decided that he was upset about the fact that his debit card was turned down, was declined for $4, pulled out a gun and said, "Open the door, I'm gonna start shooting." The clerk unlocked the door. The man shot and killed one of the patrons inside of the store and escaped. Who do you think's liable for the killing of the person who wound up dying? The fool who actually pulled the trigger, and or do you think that the store clerk also should be responsible?
Both of them.
All right. Thank you for that, Joe. Have a great morning. 313-778-7600. Let's talk to Carmen. Good morning, Carmen.
Happy Monday to everyone.
Happy Monday, Carmen. Okay, we're running out of time. Go ahead. Tell me what you think.
So I think that the clerk should be charged with endangerment. I think the owner should be charged with something that has to do with the murder. And I think the city of Detroit should be charged with endangerment as well for not checking to make sure they had license.
All right. Y'all are in the Hagen folks mood today. Thank you, Carmen. Have a great morning. 313-778-7600. Let's get New Tim in. Good morning, New Tim.
Yes, good morning. I'm enjoying your conversation as usual. We got to get out of the habit of calling people children or kids when they are 22 years old. I know we might be their seniors and things like that, but why can't we get the same courtesy when a black 17-year-old kills someone or commit a crime? The first thing they say is a 17-year-old adult. Now, as far as the situation, the person who got killed, I knew that person, and their family is enraged. And the other person who got shot, I knew them. They all came up there together. And it's a shame that business was allowed to reopen. Yes, that business did reopen. And far the clerk should be charged with endangerment and kidnapping because he refused to open that door. As far as murder, I don't know, but the person who did the shooting, he should be charged with murder.
He is charged with murder, but the clerk is also charged with manslaughter.
And he also should be charged with kidnapping because he locked that door and he prohibited those people from getting out the business, even though they banged on the door. That's why the guy shot him, because he was enraged because they was banging on the door. I know this because I know of two people that was in that store at that particular time. The one who got killed and the other one who got shot. That clerk needs to be charged, even though he is 22 years old. He's an adult. Why, when someone, it's just like when you go to it's just like if I ask you to take me to a bank and you don't know that I'm going up there to rob the bank, and then I go up there, I rob the bank and I shoot someone or I kill someone, and then I jump back in the car and I tell you to
in for a penny, in for a pound. I don't disagree with the bank robbery thing, but did the clerk know? Was the clerk taking part in the shooting? Where if you take somebody to the bank and that person winds up committing the crime, you are just as liable as the person that robbed the bank. I got you.
But if you take me to the bank and you think I'm going in there to withdraw some money, and I go up there and I rob the bank and I kill someone, they also going to charge you too. So why can't he be charged?
I sure hope you get a good lawyer so the lawyer can say, I don't know what that fool did. Y'all charge him. Leave me alone. Let me see if I can get one more caller in this morning. Thanks for calling, brother. Let's go to James. Good morning, James.
Good morning. I would just like to say that President Biden spoke at Howard University, and he said that he made a statement that racism is the white supremacy. Racism is the greatest threat to the security of America.
Let's be clear. He said that white supremacy was a threat and racism is a threat. Okay. Yeah. I got you. All right. We're going to talk about Joe Biden later in the week. All right. Thanks for calling, James. Have a great morning. Wait, Carl is still on the line? I thought we got to Carl already. Let's take Carl. Good morning, Carl.
Yes. Morning. Yes. Kidnapping is a federal crime. Yeah, I believe, isn't it, Kerry?
It's a federal and state crime.
Yeah,
it's a life offense.
Kidnapping.
Kidnapping is just as bad as murder.
Yeah, but it aided and abetting people being murdered. Okay, so that's what he needs to be charged with. That'll bring all that on. People shoplift every day in Kroger. They don't lock down the whole store, but he sells safes behind that glass. I mean, Patty had a piece behind that glass too. So the hell with y'all black folks. That's what he thinks. He wouldn't have did that to his people. He knew better than that. You have no right to lock somebody in. People get disgruntled every day in businesses. They don't lock down the whole store. Snatch and grab. They don't try to. They go right through the door. So he knew exactly what he was doing. And they need to charge kidnapping. Why is that not there? You cannot hold people against their will because that's the policy of the store. That's not the law. You know what I'm saying? So he knew exactly what he was doing. And charges should be flying everywhere. Period. And black folks need to send a message to these stores and these businesses in the city. Won't y'all boycott for a day? Now go to some of these places. It doesn't make no sense. You're giving your money away. And all these stores have this policy in place. Jerry, all of these stores. And
if you were a store owner, hold on a second. Yeah. If you was a store owner and you had to deal with this sort of very emotional type of client on a regular basis, don't you think that maybe you might try and figure out a way to protect yourself and your customers and your clients?
That's not one way of it. I want
that didn't answer the question. I asked you a question. If you were the store owner, if you have a business operating in an area where people get upset with you because their $4 debit card is declined, do you think that maybe, just maybe as a store owner should probably have a way to protect himself, his employees, and his customers?
Well, yeah, you have a right, but you have that door open. I want you to leave my businesses. You ever see people say, just leave. I want you out. Okay.
I agree with that. I agree 100%. Thanks for calling. Let me take Rodney real quick because I know that Rodney is only a 20-second phone call. Let's go, Rodney.
Kerry, how you doing?
Pretty good. Go ahead.
One owned black gas station in the city of Detroit, Outer Drive.
Davis Brothers Shell on Outer Drive. You're right.
That's all you got.
You're right.
All you got.
Y'all invest more money and y'all go shop with Davis Brothers. Thank you. All right, y'all. I'm out of time for now. Thank all of y'all, even those of y'all that are on the lines that I didn't get a chance to get to. I actually have a different show planned for 9 to 11. So we'll see what happens when I get in the studio. Next up, State Representative Jewel Jones, the hero, a member of the foundation, will be here to bring you information and inspiration from 7 to 9 this morning. And I'll talk to y'all again at 9 o'clock while I'm in the studio with your counselor. We're going to do Mental Health Monday while we're in the studio. All right, y'all. Have a good morning. I'll talk to you in a little while. Stay safe.